I'm naturally a quiet person. I'm not one to speak up in a meeting, and I like to think deeply before I answer a question. Some might call this introversion. Whatever it is, as an engineer, I've found it difficult to speak up in public for a really long time. What's crazy is that now I do it all the time. The old me would never have believed it, but it's not by luck. It's thanks to a few tips that have helped me to succeed, and I thought I'd share them with you. Tip number 1, plan. Being prepared is crucial. I'm the type of person who likes to think deeply about things anyway, so I usually spend a lot of time thinking about the one sentence that I would like my audience to take away from my talk. That's it, just one sentence. When I have that nailed, I make sure that every single part of my presentation ties back to that sentence. By being prepared, I'm more confident about what I'm speaking about because I know my stuff. Tip number 2, storytell. Our brains are wired for stories. Help people to remember your content by taking them on a journey. One time I was so nervous before a talk that I threw up in the curtain as I walked on set. The whole time I was speaking, I knew that there was a pile of vomit right behind me. I learned a good lesson that day, and that's don't eat right before giving a talk, and I have kept that rule ever since. An engaging short story helps your audience to empathize with you and with your topic, meaning they're more likely to remember what you said. Tip number 3, know your quirks. I'm really nervous when I speak, and I try to get rid of those nerves by waving my hands around a lot, and I pace up and down. Both of those things can be really distracting, so I figured out ways to help reduce my reliance on these comforting quirks. Firstly, my secret. I put double-sided sticky tape on the underside of my shoes. That way, when I want to pace nervously around, my feet stick to the ground. Secondly, I always bring a prop to my talks, something that helps to explain a concept, but also stops me from being over-expressive with my arm waving. Tip number 4, practice. There are some very lucky people who can just get up and talk, but most of the time, if you see a great speaker, it's not luck, it's practice. Before giving a public presentation, I would have practiced it many times, checking my timing, trying out different ways of saying the same thing, and watching my facial expressions and my mannerisms in a mirror. While talking out loud to yourself might seem weird, practicing helps us return all the way back to tip 1, preparation. And those 4 simple tips have helped me to find my public voice in a way that's still authentically me.